Live action. Dr. Pinesett, the study doc here. And this is the Study Doc Show, formerly known as the Student Transformation Show. We are changing it up, guys. For the end of 2020, taking us into 2021, I want to make sure that you guys, as students and as premeds, have a place to come to get some positivity, to get some productivity, help you better students, help you better premeds, and move forward in your journey. And that's what this is, guys. We'll be live every single Monday at 5 p.m. or like today when I'm stuck in the operating room. We'll be a little bit late, but I want to every single week be giving you guys a message that's going to help you be better, right? Who wants to be better? Who's sick of being the average student they are, right? The underperforming student they are, or the great student they are, but not really living like they want to live. Rosanna, what up? Right? Julian, hello. Everybody hopping on here. Samaya, hey. I was DMing with Samaya earlier. I messed up a link like I always do. Technology challenges me. But so we're on here today. Mike, what is up over on YouTube? Yes, we are live right now on YouTube and Facebook. But here's what we're talking about today, guys. How many of you guys struggle with punishing yourself, right? With penalizing yourself? How many of you guys are mean to yourself? How many of you guys don't treat yourself like you should? Good evening, Leslie. Utham, right? Someone you got her hand up real high. When it comes to being a great student, a successful student, our greatest enemy is often ourselves, right? Because we don't believe in ourselves, because we doubt ourselves, because we degrade ourselves, right? All those D words, doubt, degrade, all those things. And so what tonight I want to talk about is how we can stop punishing ourselves and how we can start pushing ourselves. Do you guys know the difference? How many of you guys try to push yourself, but you end up punishing yourself? You feel like you're whipping yourself. You're the whipping boy for yourself. Right? Do we know what I'm talking about right now? You guys hear what I'm saying? We have to change that. And as part of that, right? And I mentioned earlier today on Instagram, we're talking about accountability, is understanding how to be properly accountable to ourselves. What does accountability mean to you guys? When we talk about, if I say accountability, be accountable, what does that mean to you guys as students, right? And as premeds? When I say be accountable, accountability, the importance of accountability, what does it mean to you? We are live. Yes, so I will wait for your response. What's accountability mean? Right? Samaya says, keeping myself in check. Well, what do you mean by keeping yourself in check? Some of y'all are checking yourself so hard, you're actually choking yourselves. How many of you guys are trying to check yourself and say, no, I'm gonna get it right, but then you end up choking yourself from feeling good, from being good, right? From moving forward. Yes, you made a live broadcast right now, ongoing Pigeon 6. What a weird username, but yes, you're here. Right? And I love Utham said it right here. Holding yourself to the standard you know you are capable of. And as part of that, so what we're going to talk about is what we're capable of now and in the future. We got to separate those two things. And so Merriam-Webster, right, our dictionary, says that accountability is an obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or to account for one's actions. And it's that responsibility part, right? And right now, I was having this discussion with Brent. If you guys don't know who my student Brent Shaw is, make sure you guys all go follow him right now on Instagram at The Real Student Mentor. But we were having a discussion about why social media, why forums, why this world, why this internet world we live in is so defeatist and why so many people underperform. And one of the big reasons people underperform is that they don't understand what real accountability is. And it's that willingness to accept responsibility for what's going on. And then with that responsibility, then taking steps to say, well, listen, it's my fault, it's my responsibility, so what am I doing to be different? And so we had this whole conversation about how in our society with internets and with all those things, that the way to get likes, the way to get followers, the way to grow a big following is to make people feel comfortable, to make people feel like they can relate to you. And so what people do is they pander to people. And instead of doing what they're supposed to do, they want to make people feel good. But what's true about life is a lot of times, right, that uncomfortable part, that's where we see success. And so I see a lot of people, and this is what Britt and I were talking about, is that a lot of people will say they want to destigmatize something, right? They want to make people stop feeling bad. Imtiaz, what up? You owe me a check-in, by the way. What's going on? What's the update? What's the latest, right? A lot of people say they want to destigmatize something, right? They want to normalize something. And they don't recognize that those are two sides of a different coin. Destigmatization is different from normalization. What's the difference, guys, between destigmatizing, and normalizing? And why does it matter? Why does it really, really matter to separate destigmatizing something versus normalizing? It's very, very important. And this is why people fail to properly hold themselves accountable, because they don't understand what it is to normalize versus destigmatize. What's the difference? Oh, I'll wait, guys. We're live action, right? I'm here to teach. So we've got to be thinking actively about what I'm saying. If you guys are here with me right now, make sure you guys like this video right now. Let me know you guys are here with me. You guys are here to get a message. You guys are here to learn, right? This is a learning show. We're trying to be educated people, right? We're trying to get better. Who's here to get better right now? What's the difference between destigmatizing and normalizing? Right? People say they couldn't tell you. Look how quiet the box got when I asked that question. What is the difference between destigmatizing and normalizing? No. See? Everyone, I love it. Great. Look at this. We're brand new on Mondays, and already you guys are learning, because nobody can give me the correct answer. Nobody can give me the correct answer right now. This is why so many students fail to reach their potential. This is why, right? The internet is bad because we don't have the details. Okay, so listen to me and listen to me closely. The difference between destigmatizing and normalizing is that when you normalize, you say this is normal, this should happen, and this is okay to happen. Destigmatizing something means, oh yes, this is a common experience, and we don't want to shame, we don't want to criticize these people, but at the same time, we need to do something different and help these people instead of stigmatizing them, making them outcasts. We need to support them to get better. Those two things are different. And the reason this is so important, it plays out on social media, but when you guys are within yourselves, a lot of you guys normalize your bad behavior. That's just what I do. I'm just not a smart student. I'm just not a morning person. I'm just not this. You normalize your inadequacy. You normalize your issues. You normalize your problems. You normalize your negative feelings, and you just sit in them and you stew in them and you say, hey, it's just normal me being normal me, depressed and anxious and upset and hating school. It's just normal. Whereas destigmatizing for yourself would be looking at yourself and saying, dang, I make a lot of mistakes. Dang, I'm not where I want to be academically. I'm going to stop punishing myself, but I'm going to say, I don't want to be here anymore. And I'm going to push myself to be different, to make changes. And I'll give you guys a practical example. The reason I want to talk about this, I thought it came so clear to me because I had the conversation with Brent. Again, if you guys don't follow my student, Brent Shaw, at the Real Student Mentor on Instagram, go follow him, okay? But we had this conversation. Follow me, as a matter of fact. If you guys don't follow me already on Instagram, it's at TheStudyDoc on Instagram. Follow me. But listen, I was teaching my daughter. I was sitting down with my daughter. We were having an educational day. And this is on my birthday. On Saturday is my birthday. You know, we had a great birthday weekend. I was spending a lot of time with my family. And part of this family time, right, we're always learning. We're always educating. We're always getting better. And so I sat down with my daughter at the dining room table. We're sitting there, and we're doing counting. I'm having my daughter count, and she's 3, right? She's 3 years old. And we're doing counting, and we're working on some things. And as we're doing this, right, my daughter refuses to sit still. She's like all over the chair. She's doing this. She's over here. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, look at the paper. We're doing this. Blah, 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 right? And I'm like, what is this? And she's like, look it over here. I'm like, look at the paper. Look at the paper. What are we doing? Right? And so she's not focusing in, and she's not giving me the answers I want. And as part of this looking around, she's very distracted. Why? Because there's a piece of cake she wants oh so bad. The piece of cake she wants oh so bad. And it's distracting her. And it's adding this distraction. I want the cake. I want the cake. I want the cake. And so she's not focusing and giving me the answer I need. Okay? For 3-year-olds, is it normal for them to have difficulty holding their attention? Is it normal for them to want to play and have cake and be loose and not sit here at the table with their dad being drilled in numbers? Is that normal behavior? Yes, you would expect that of a 3-year-old. But did I accept it for my 3-year-old? Absolutely not. I recognized she wasn't focusing, so I held her accountable. I took that cake and I threw that cake in the garbage right in front of her. Took the cake, threw it in the garbage. If you guys have never had a child, or you guys never babysat or seen a little small child, small children are like are basically like adults but in miniature. And have you guys ever been so heartbroken you couldn't make a sound? You felt heartbreak so deep inside you couldn't make a sound, and you were just like, and then a single tear, all the sadness of your life, in a single tear down your face. That was my daughter, guys. When that cake went to the garbage, she was like, all the saliva was coming out, and then a single tear. Single tear. And in that moment, my wife is like, Andre. And I was like, shh, shh. And I don't ever shush my wife. She doesn't like that at all. I was like, shh. And I said, Cameron, my daughter's Cameron. I said, Cameron, count the numbers. And I swear to goodness, guys, immediately she got it all correct. All correct. Why? Because I created accountability. I didn't yell at her. I didn't beat her. But I let her understand something that we often, too often, students learn too late in life. Our actions are our choice. We choose how we act. You're 3, but if you act like a 3-year-old, that's your choice. Or you could act more mature. That's your choice. You have control over your actions. You can pay attention, you cannot pay attention. But if you choose the wrong action, then your poor action or your inaction, right, has consequences. Positive consequences, negative consequences. In this case, you're not paying attention, you get no cake. I literally didn't have to say a word. I said, you're not paying attention, you're not paying, okay. Cake in the garbage. And I said, count those numbers. Does everybody understand? I didn't beat my kid. I didn't say that this is abnormal behavior for a 3-year-old, but I say we got to have a higher standard around this camp. And for so many of you guys are stuck in punishment mode, or you're stuck in excuse mode because you aren't accountable to yourself. Let's read again. Right? What's the definition? An obligation or willingness to accept responsibility or to account for one's action. How many of you guys out here right now normalize your badass behavior and blame it on a teacher? Blame it on the way the question was worded. You blame it on not having the resources. You blame it on your parents. How many of you guys are out here blaming other people for your shortcomings? How many of you guys out here are disadvantaged students, are disabled students, or just a student who doesn't perform great, and you just expect that to be you? I'm just a C student. I'm just this. I'm just that. How many of you guys are out here doing this to yourself? Where you normalize your bad behavior and you can't possibly see yourself as more. And someone earlier talked about, right, is not living up to what you're capable of doing. But what we fail to recognize, and this is very important, when we normalize a behavior, when we say this is just what it is, this is who I am, we don't allow for the possibility that we could be more. And when we don't allow for the possibility that we could be more, we don't strive. We don't try. We don't apply ourselves. We don't attempt to get to that next level. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? We shrink, we make ourselves incapable by not recognizing that who we are today, what we are capable of today, isn't who we could be tomorrow. If we normalize, this is just me. If you understand what I'm saying right now, like this video. Put a hand in the comment box so I can see I'm talking to you, so you understand what I'm talking about with this normalizing behavior. The other side, right, the opposite of normalizing is stigmatizing, not destigmatizing, stigmatizing yourselves. How many of you guys are in the punishment box? Where when you set a goal, oh, I'm going to study 4 hours today, and you study for 2, you beat yourself up mercilessly. You're so mad at yourself. You're so upset with yourself. You're so angry at yourself. You're such a failure, right? That you beat yourself up about it so much that you can't even get back on track to do the next set of studying. How many of that you guys, right? Midterms just passed. How many of you guys had a bad midterm week? You let one bad midterm turn to 2 or 3 bad midterms. And you're going to let all those midterms turn to bad finals. How many of you guys are in that boat? This is the opposite side of it, right? We can normalize or we can stigmatize. This is so important. Gunyan says, that's you, right? I see hands. Thank you, Spencer, right? We have to understand. We don't want to stigmatize. We don't want to punish ourselves. And at the same time, we don't want to settle and say, this is normal. This is who I am. This is what I do. And the example my daughter is yes, that's normal behavior for a 3-year-old. Was what I was asking her to do, is that what a typical 3-year-old should be able to do? No. And I know she's going to struggle. But I have to hold her accountable to be the best she can be, because I know she's capable of more. And tomorrow she'll be better. Does that make sense? Right? And Fayez just said, this foolishness is preventing from me being my best. It's obvious, guys. This is what happens. Some of you guys, and let me frame it this way. I talk about not stigmatizing and I talk about not normalizing. I talk about destigmatizing. What we have to do, okay, what we have to push ourselves to do, and I want you guys all to write this down. Everybody write this down. Everybody ready? Everybody got a pen? Okay. We must have reflective responsibility. I want everybody, write it down right now, type it in the box. Reflective responsibility. This is what I call it. One of the affirmations that I say to myself every single morning, if you guys don't know my story, right? I started college, I was a poor performing student, yada, 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 yada. It's where a lot of people are. I normalized my bad behavior. I stigmatized myself and made myself procrastinate because I was so upset about how I was this bad student. And it wasn't until I had a wake-up call and I was told by my counselor that I was trash and I wouldn't graduate that I was able to look at myself. And I was put in a corner where I had to really, 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 really look at myself. And I had to decide, was I going to be better or was I going to be the person she told me I was? And by looking at myself, the first thing I did, and I recognize that I want all of you guys to do, is I had to hold myself accountable. And I had to take full responsibility for everything. And this is the affirmation I came up with. And this is what I say to myself every single day to this day, right? Centuries later, right? I still say it to myself every morning. Everything I am, everything I will be, is a direct result of me. My effort, my care, my attention, my focus. Everything is my responsibility. Within that, listen to what I said. Everything I am and everything I will be. Everything I am and everything I will be. Recognizing that just who I am today, the performance I put in today has no reflection on the performance I can put in tomorrow or the next day. Yes, yes? Give me a like right now if you guys understand what I'm saying right now. I don't want to lose you guys in the weeds before we start really getting into this reflective responsibility. Okay. So, I had to take responsibility. But with that responsibility, I recognized what I was doing today is not who I am tomorrow. And I set realistic expectations for myself. And I told myself, and I want you guys to tell yourselves this, is that you want to seek perfection, but not require it. You can get better, you can get closer to perfection, but you're not perfection today. And with that, right, our understanding, our expectation that we're not going to be perfect. By not being perfect, there has to be some degree of failure, of imperfection. And this is important because now if we expect ourselves to be imperfect, if we expect ourselves to fail, then what we can do is we can say, oh, I'm going to be imperfect. I'm going to fail. I'm going to fall short. I'm going to do this things. And then we can be actively looking for ways we let ourselves down, for ways we drop the ball. And by looking at those, we can then do reflective responsibility. I expected to fall short. I expected to have some failure. But what I do today is not what I will do tomorrow. And so now I must reflect, hold myself accountable, but in a reflective manner to say, wait a minute, how did I drop the ball? How did I create this failure? And then how can I avoid this failure tomorrow? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So when you get to a test and you bomb said test, we don't just say, oh man, that teacher was hard. Oh man, that test is bad. I'm a terrible student. Blah, blah, blah. I'll never get good. Wah, 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 wah. No, that's punishment. We want to push ourselves, and we push ourselves by reflecting on it and say, listen, well, why was my score bad? Oh, well, snap. I didn't start reading until week 3. Probably should have started week 1. Oh, you know what? I was distracted. You know what? My girl, she was tripping this semester. She wanted to spend time with me. She loves me. She cared about me, but she don't really care about me because she pulled me from my studies, right? Oh, I pledged this fraternity. I thought it was going to be the coolest thing ever, but you know what? It's really affecting my ability to score well in this class. We can look at ourselves and we can make changes. Anderson, what up? Right? We can look at ourselves and we can make changes and push. You know what? I'm going to dedicate less time to fraternity, more time to the books. Instead of waiting until week 3, I'm going to get it week 1. Right? I'm going to go to office hours. I'm going to make these changes. I'm going to put in more time. I'm going to put in better time. Whatever you're going to do, we make adjustments. So yes, we hold ourselves responsible. We recognize that we messed up, but we don't make ourselves feel bad for it. Instead, we push ourselves forward to be better. We're not having a pity party. We're having a potential party. That's better. We're going to have a potential party. How can I potentially be better? You're welcome, Christian. Does everybody understand what I'm saying right now? This is so important, particularly during this time, right? We got COVID going on right now. People have lost their social networks, right? Their real social networks, because social media don't count. You don't get the right support from that, right? Unless you're in the Cult of Greatness group, my Facebook group, totally free to join. My Cult of Greatness group. If you guys are not in that, find us on Facebook. I'll put the link in the box below. Cult of Greatness group. Join us, right? But a lot of us have lost, right, the people around us who make us feel good about ourselves. And so some of you guys are in this penalty spiral right now. You're punishing yourself. You're punishing yourself. You're punishing yourself. It's all this negativity circling yourself. We got to break out of that. I know you're struggling. I know you're off task. I know you're procrastinating. But what are we going to do tomorrow to make tomorrow different? Yes? Tori asked me to repeat the mantra. Everybody ready? Everything I am or everything I will be is the direct result of me, my effort, my care, my focus, and my attention. What you choose to give your focus to, what you choose to give your attention to, your life is up to you. What will you become? And that may seem like, oh man, that's a lot of pressure. It's all on me. It is all on you. But the cool thing is that since it's all on you, you don't need anybody else to make you great. You make yourself great. And that's what I've done. That's what I encourage my students to do. That's what I encourage you to do right now if you're not one of my students. Right? If you listen to this, come on in. Make yourself great. Does this make sense to everyone? I want no one here not either typing in the box or liking this video, letting me know that you understand what I'm talking about tonight. And that you now understand, you have a better semblance, right? This isn't all of it. I have a whole bunch of stuff here, but we're getting too far into it, so we'll make this a multi-part series, right? We'll continue this next week, and we'll get into it. Got some good stuff here. But how many of you guys are starting to understand that you've had an unhealthy, right, inaccurate perspective of what accountability is? And now you start to understand that I have to look at myself differently. I have to treat myself differently. And if I do that, I unlock potential that I couldn't access before. Right? I gain access to capabilities I didn't have before, I couldn't see before, I couldn't get out there. Does everybody understand? Perfectly. I see crystal clear in the box. I love it. Everybody. Who enjoyed this today? This is our first episode of the New Study Doc Show. I'm very excited. I'm back, y'all. Every week, Monday. Tell yourself, tell a friend. We're going to be here. If you guys have enjoyed this, make sure, take a second, like the video, hit that button so more people can enjoy this. Additionally, I want to let you know we'll be back on Wednesday, okay? I'll be on Instagram Live, okay, on Wednesday and Facebook Live, and I'll be actually live chatting. I'm going to pull a student in to my Instagram Live, and we're going to be coaching. So here's what we're going to do. Mondays are lectures. Wednesdays are coaching. So on Wednesdays, follow me on Instagram at the Study Doc. You can ask to be on my live. I'm going to be coaching a student every single Wednesday. If you've got a problem, come to Wednesdays on my Instagram at the Study Doc. Does everybody understand? Every Monday, we're going to be here, live, lecturing, talking about something. Wednesdays, it's coaching. We're going to get at it. We're gonna close 2020 strong and go into 2021 rolling. So take the time. Make sure, if you are not already, you better be liking, following, subscribing to all my channels. We're on YouTube right here. Subscribe. If you're first time, turn on those notifications. Like I said, we're live today. You don't want to miss this. This is your opportunity. Does everybody understand? And I agree, Spencer, that social media is a black hole of negativity. I'm trying to be that white light, Spencer, to lead you out. Come get with us. Okay? 5 p.m. is the time, guys. Monday and Wednesday at 5 p.m., except for today when I was late out of the OR. I apologize. But we'll be 5 p.m. normally. Live action, helping you guys get better. This is education. This is coaching. This is not fluff. We can't be in fluff town, right? We can't be a black hole of nothingness, right? That social media normally is. We have to uplift, right? I'm on a mission, empower 1 million students. Everybody got it. I thank you guys very much. Again, if it's your first time joining me, I'm Dr. Pinesett. I am The Study Doc. Follow me on social media at The Study Doc. Check out my website, thestudydoc.com. I got courses, I got coaching, all kind of great stuff for you guys. I thank you guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Christopher, yes, 5 p.m. Pacific. I live on the West Coast. And the West Coast is what? The best coast. So, of course, it's Pacific time. Let's recognize y'all. But I appreciate y'all East Coast people still kind of. Lakers. Did my Lakers have a good opening to free agency? Or my Lakers, we about to repeat, baby. We about to repeat. I had some guy I was out the other day. So let me tell you real quick and I'll get out of here. My son, I love my son, okay? For my birthday, got me a Lakers hat. Why? Because he already has a Lakers hat and he wanted us to be matching because he knows the Lakers are our team. Why? Because they're greatness personified. Right? I just watched a video today with Kobe cursing out people at practice, calling people soft as Charmin toilet paper. It was incredible. That's accountability. The Lakers. And so my son got me this hat, this Lakers hat. And so my son had a Lakers hat on. I had a Lakers hat on. And we're walking around and some guy goes, Clipper Nation. I'm like, loserdom. Because if you like the Clippers, something is wrong in your brain because something is attracting you and pulling you to losing and underperforming. If you like the Clippers, you're wired wrong. If you love the Lakers, you're about excellence, high standards, championships. So I asked the guy, I said, Clipper Nation? I said, loserdom. And he's like, what? I said, why do you like the Clippers? What about the Clippers appeals to you? He's like, well, it's because the Lakers, they always win. I'm like, that's problematic? I couldn't believe it. But that's what Clipper fans say. Oh, well, Lakers always win. They always, get all the best players. So should we not be trying to be the best? You like the Clippers because they constantly have terrible records? They're what? Think about that mentality. That's the takeaway for today. If He yelled Clipper Nation at me, and I said, loser. And he was like, what? And I'm like, why do you like the Clippers? And he's like, oh, Lakers. I'm like, yes, they win. Think about that. You hate the Lakers because they win? Because they're champions? Because they're excellent? Shoot. That's why some people hate me. I'm always winning, baby. It's just too sweet over here. It's just championship mentality isn't for everyone. Not everyone's ready. Anyway, I got sidetracked here. I don't know how we got on the Lakers. Yeah, Tori knows what's up. Okay? This is very important. Key takeaway, Lakers forever. And if you like the Clippers, screw loose. Just saying. Yeah, Golden State Warriors, cool, right? They're striving. Even when they're not winning, they're striving. But Lakers. All right. Everybody, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, like I said, take a second, like the video. Take a second, share it with someone, tag someone, whatever. Mondays, we're going to be here live, YouTube, Facebook. Wednesdays, we're going to be live, Instagram, Facebook, doing coaching. Lectures on Monday, coaching on Wednesdays. And I'll be live randomly throughout the week also, so make sure you guys turn on those notifications, right? But Mondays and Wednesdays, 5 p.m. every single week, rain, snow, or shine, we're back on it. We're back at it. And I'm bringing you guys positivity and productivity every single week. Positivity, productivity, positivity, productivity, positive productivity, until you're amazing, until you're greatness. Everybody, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'm so excited to be back and be with all of you guys. So thank you guys for spending some time with me. I'll see you guys next time.